And the way you know that like their whole like theft like angle of this is all just bullshit smokescreen is that they only mention it at the very top of the segment and at the very bottom. But the entire middle section is just bitching and moaning about trans people or gay people or non-binary people, LGBT people in general, just existing within government apparatuses. The right wing in this country has been, how do I say this? A bit hyper focused on trans people and what's the other one? And LGBT people. They seem to be really just fixated on it. And I saw this little story here. It seemed mildly interesting, but also I kind of want to look at the right-wing response to it. Didn't mean to do that. All right, so a U.S. nuclear official was fired after accused of stealing luggage from an airport. So, as you can kind of see, this person is, yeah, you know, we got kind of a weird, I'm not sure what the weird like goatee stash combos going on. Not sure how I feel about the mullet, but the right has been like really upset about this person. So let's get the story, and then I kind of want to go to a reaction. A top nuclear waste official was fired by the Department of Energy after the Biden administration came under fire following allegations of a string of luggage thefts. Sam Brinton, who identifies as non-binary and served as Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Department of Energy's Office of Spent Fuel and Waste Disposition, was charged in 2 separate incidents of stealing suitcases from U.S. airports. So, we have a case of a non-binary person breaking the law, which is normal because all groups of people break the law sometimes. Okay. I'm not sure what the outrage is over, but let's read a little bit more. A Department of Energy spokesperson said Sam Brinton is no longer a DOE employee. By law, the Department of Energy cannot comment further on personal matters. Brinton was placed on leave by the department last month after being charged with felony theft when police claimed they stole a woman's Vera Bradley suitcase in September from the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. An arrest warrant was issued on Friday on charges of grand larceny after Brinton was accused of stealing the luggage of another woman from the Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas in July. Brinton was caught on surveillance cameras at the airport making off with a bag from the Las Vegas airport's baggage claim area. The luggage included $1,700 worth of jewelry, $850 worth of clothes, and $500 worth of makeup. Jesus Christ, maybe don't travel with that much stuff. According to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, Fox News reported. Shocker, Fox News reporting on this. Brinton was described as, quote, a white male adult wearing a white t-shirt with a large rainbow-colored atomic nuclear symbol designed by the department. Okay. This is also them. They are bald. I have thoughts about bald people, but we're going to keep moving on. Lipstick matches the necklace, matches the jacket. Solid combo. Good fit. Sam Brinton, whose bio describes them as a, quote, well-known advocate for the LGBTQ youth, was appointed in June amid much fanfare. However, the theft scandal has sparked criticism from Republican leaders who criticized the Biden administration's wokeness for hiring them. So, already I can kind of see where this is going, because they're simply going to say, oh, you hired this person because they were woke, not realizing what they actually were was a criminal. Which, I realize that the crime happened the crime happened a little bit earlier, but upon investigation, this person was charged and a warrant was out for them. And then, fun fact, they fired them. This person was fired for the crime that they are allegedly or what they are alleged to have committed. So what's the controversy here? The controversy is that this person was non-binary. That's it. That's the controversy. That is as far as this goes. Because people, if this was a part of the crime thing, they would be saying you hired somebody who committed a crime, to which the obvious outcome or solution, I should say, what you're asking them to do is fire that person, right? You say like, hey, the person you hired broke the law. What are you going to do about it? Well, aren't you going to fire that person? And the Biden administration goes, oh, yeah, actually we are. And then you go, well, you shouldn't have hired, you only hired them because they were woke. And they go, what are you talking about? I hired them because they were, okay. Okay. Touch grass. Jesus Christ. Okay. Brighton, right. Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton called Brinton a person clearly unfit for a high level of national security role. Hey, look, you and it's really funny. It seems like you and Biden kind of agree because he fired this person and slammed President Biden for prioritizing wokeness over competence. At what point? So, I don't know this person's credentials, but I would love to know right now, based on the information right now, were they unqualified? Did they have a background in the field that they were working in? I don't think you get to the Department of Energy by just being like a TikToker. I don't think that's a thing. Representative Troy Niels demanded them to be fired immediately and their security clearance revoked. Oh, well, you got what you wanted, so what are you bitching about? A group of Republicans, including Marjorie Taylor Greene and Andrew Klein, sent a letter to Energy Department on Tuesday urging Brinton's removal. We demand the resignation of Sam Brinton. We implore you to set aside petty... No, I'm not going to do it in the voice. Petty politics and appoint only the most qualified and dedicated individuals to influence America's energy sector. How do you know that? Are you sure that they? Do you have any idea to their qualifications? I'm kind of curious. Let's find out. Sam qualifications. Let's find out together. All right. Nope. Please stop. Sam Otis Brinton is an American nuclear engineer and LGBT activist. They were appointed as deputy. Actually, no. Give me. Yes. Give me education. Anyway. Journalist, LGBTQ nation. I want to see. Okay, Brinton graduated from Kansas State University, with a bachelor of science in nuclear engineering and vocal music. While attending the university, they organized its first Pride in 2010. They have a dual Master of Science degree in nuclear science and engineering, technology, and policy program from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, from UMass. This person is a UMass master's degree. Like they hold a master's from UMass and already had a bachelor's of science. So understand, when Marjorie Taylor Greene gets on here, where is it? We demand that the resignation, employ you to set aside petty politics. They did. They fired them and appoint only the most qualified and dedicated individuals. They're qualified. At no point, if you notice in this entire article, have they talked about Sam's qualifications. They haven't been interested in Brinton's qualifications. Not once in this entire article, and not once have any of these Republicans mentioned that they're unqualified. Only that they were woke. Understand what this person did? Not okay. Stealing things, fun fact, not okay. But none of that has any bearing on their position within the Department of Energy. As a Department of Energy employee, they were most likely, considering they had a bachelor's and double master's. I'm pretty sure it's a double master's. Let me make sure I got that right. I have a dual master's. I'm pretty sure with a bachelor's of science and a dual master's of science from UMass, This person was qualified. But the thing that they're upset about is that they're non-binary, is that they don't identify as one of the two genders that Republicans and conservatives writ large think exist. So, yeah, like, you know, well-known advocate, wokeness over competence. This person was simultaneously competent and woke. But notice, they're not interested in any of that. The fact that they were woke immediately disqualifies any competence. And when they mean woke, they mean non-binary. This is just Republicans saying you can't hire gay people because they can't be competent. Because you would only hire a gay person, not for their competence, not for their ability, but for their identity. That's what they're arguing here. These people. So, related to this, I want to take a look at known grifter Tulsi Gabbard and her take on all of this. So let's take a look at somebody's spoken words here. Let's take
Tulsi Gabbard's a Fox News contributor who joins us now. Are you noticing that?
I'm sorry. 1 second. Okay, I'm assuming this is different. We'll find out.
Are you noticing that people are
not sure what
looking
the
the other
chyron's
way
for.
At pretty glaring red flags when a contributor who joins us now?
Jailed for, okay, stalking, okay.
Are you noticing that people are looking the other way at pretty glaring red flags when it comes to qualifications?
What red flags?
Character. Just
what red flags? They had a dual masters.
To hire people based upon their sexual identity, and it's having some
really funny.
repercussions.
I find it really funny that that Jesse Waters, legendarily unimpressive person. Jesse Waters is a water boy. That's what he is. He is a genetic loser. Like, the guy, like, is spiritually a fucking loser. If I met him in high school, I would shove him into a locker. But somehow this guy can see only a pattern of favoritism when it comes to a group he's not in. Meanwhile, working at a place that suspiciously advocates for the traditional hierarchical structure for our society. Interesting.
It is, Jesse. You know, this is one of the unfortunate.
Also, you mean like all hiring decisions? Have you ever, like, I don't think Jesse Waters has ever held a real job in his life. I want everyone to keep the phrase in mind. It's not what you know, it's who you know. These kinds of people say that all the time, and these types of people would not be remiss in saying it about anything else. At the end of the day, Jesse Waters' kids are going to make it farther on the basis that they're Jesse Waters' kids. Just keep that in mind. Same with Biden. It's called human error. It's called human bias. That's kind of how it works.
Fortunate reasons why I left the Democratic Party was this obsession with the externals, with the superficial, with the labels. And it's sad, you know, it goes against the very message that Dr. Martin Luther King had, that we would judge each other based.
Notice, they're not playing the video of them stealing anything. Don't you think they'd be upset? Don't you think they'd be showing screenshots of this person committing a crime? Is it not interesting to you that of all the possible, like, pictures they could have put up of this person, they didn't pick a mugshot, they didn't pick camera footage from them committing a crime, they picked a guy wearing a dress. Actually, that's wrong. I'm sorry. A person wearing a dress. They're non-binary. They probably use they, them. Apologies for that. So understand, like, This is what they're upset. They're like they could give a shit about the law breaking. The law breaking is is the bug. Is just the thing that they see as allowing them to pass this critique on with just to launder it with just a little bit more nuance, or not nuance, I should say, just a little bit more cover. They can be just a little bit more open because they can always say that this person broke the law. But at the end of the day, the thing that they're upset about is that they had the audacity to wear a dress and wear lipstick. That's the thing that they're upset about.
Based on the content of our character rather than the color of our skin, rather than sexuality, rather than all of these other labels that are unfortunately used so often to divide us. And as a result, rather than treating each other,
are you going to show any of the law breaking?
Seeing each other as children of God that we are.
Gay reporters blast Biden for failure to vet luggage thief. Is that happening? I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the chyrons on Fox News are honest whatsoever. Considering, let's all remember, the thing that you would want. This person broke the law. They work for the Department of Energy in a high enough position, I suppose. They work for the Department of Energy. Let's leave it at that. I don't know in the structure where they were, but they work in the Department of Energy. You know, they work for the public. They're a public servant. They broke the law. What would you want the response be if this was anybody else? What would the ask be? To fire them, which they did already. It already happened. They already fired this person. They don't work there anymore. They're being investigated. They might get charged. They might. I don't know what the. I'm not sure what the sentences are for, you know, stealing luggage or whatever that might be. They might be held. They might be found guilty in a court of law. But that's not what they're upset about. And that's not the thing that they're focused on. They're not worried about law breaking. They're worried and they're upset by non-binary people, by LGBT folks, just being in these positions. The law breaking is just a fun way to launder that.
All equal and should be treated with respect as such. We have people who are hired or fired based on these superficial so-called identities. The negative consequence of this is you have people who are
also,
in positions
remember,
of,
this person is highly educated.
They get hired, but they're not necessarily qualified for the job.
Well, I wouldn't vote for anybody that was actually behind bars during the election, not once but twice. And I wouldn't actually hire anybody like Sammy, not because what he does in his personal life, because that's fine with me, but someone who broadcasts their sexual life so graphically all over the internet.
See, Jesse Waters is too fucking stupid to understand that he needs to keep his critique within the bounds of legality. You just heard him. He said he wouldn't want to vote for somebody, or he wouldn't want somebody who broke the law doing that. But what he's more upset about is them flaunting their sexuality, which I didn't realize wearing dresses in public was sexual. I did not realize this. This is new information for me. I always thought they were fashion, clothing. But, you know, as usual, these guys seem to find every possible way they can to make this about their identity.
That might make me think, you know what, maybe we shouldn't trust them with, I don't know, spent nuclear rods.
Yeah, you know, I think it's about going deeper into what really matters. As a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserves, I can tell you that I don't care what my soldiers' race, religion, or sexual preferences are. It makes no difference to me. What I look for is what is the content of their character. Are they people who embody selfless service, personal courage, respect, a commitment to the mission and serving our country? The bigger...
You know, I didn't even read this, but let's Let's read this together really quickly. One second, I have to... Escape, please.
Consequence.
No, I said escape, please. What? Why did you move so much? Theft allegations. In October 2022, Brinton was charged with felony theft after allegedly stealing a woman's suitcase. In November, Brinton was placed on leave. Wait, okay. And this person was hired... One second. Career, 2016. Nuclear waste. Don't care. In February. When did they... Okay, here we go. Listed them as director. And in May of 2020, they were its director of global. In 2022, Brenton's profile at the Department of Energy indicated their previous work with the Breakthrough Institute. So they started working before this then. Yeah. Yeah, active. No, that's fine. That's fine. They went to school. Yeah, they began working December 12th. That's fine. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, here we go. Yahoo lets us know that Brinton may be the first openly gender fluid person in federal government. In July 2022, South Florida Gay News reported that according to Brinton, while they were welcomed with open arms, the Levels organization. So let's get this straight. Let's get the timeline straight really quickly. Let's get this straight because apparently Jesse Waters, Fox News, and Tulsi Gabbard, people who are much more well-funded than I am with my little laptop here. Let's get this pattern straight here. This person is hired sometime in the summer. Allegations come out against them for theft in late November, and in early October, they are fired. Now, you know, maybe I'm crazy, but that sounds like and again, you can call me crazy here, but that sounds like the most normal thing to happen to anybody who is charged with theft or is alleged to committed theft by the government. Like, yeah, they got news about it in late November is when the allegations came out, and in early December, probably through an internal investigation, they were fired. So again, this has nothing to do with their qualifications or with the way that the Biden administration has handled this. They handled this like they would anything else. This person is qualified like everybody else. What they're obsessed with, and again, I know I've said it a million times, but like I want to reinforce this. What they're obsessed with is them wearing a dress. That's what's bothering them. Nothing else. Everything else is just a smokescreen. So,
of all of this stuff we're seeing here, this identity politics, the Democratic Party's obsession with it is our country is being divided. We are being torn apart.
It's funny. Nobody in the Democratic Party, we never bring this stuff up. It's you guys, you get really, really, really obsessed about it.
What we are known as around the world, those values of excellence that we are known for around the world, frankly, are diminishing.
Do you think we're ever going to see the surveillance footage of Sammy wheeling away the Vera Bradley bag?
Have we not seen that?
From the
I've
airport?
seen,
or do you think they're going to suppress it like they tried to do the Pauly P. DUI footage?
I think there is.
I'm not even sure what he's referencing,
but transparency, and you can see the bias in those.
Wait, one of them is a police department that's suppressing information on a possible whoa, shocker there. It's not like cops don't turn off their body cams.
Who are very quick to leak and release information or videos or whatever when it serves their political narrative.
Notice, not one picture.
All of a sudden, everything gets thrown into
solitary
the vault,
picture.
The evidence disappears.
Yeah, I have a feeling if Tulsi pinched a bag that cost about $3,000 at the airport and hightailed it out to the taxi, I feel like we'd find out about that probably the next day, and it would be on every station in America.
Tulsi would never pinch a bag from anywhere for any reason.
I
would
believe
go barefoot.
I believe you. Thank you very much, Tulsi.
Thanks, Jesse.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling
Sean,
analysis.
shut up. Also, I want to point this out really quickly. Jesse Waters is talking about, you know, are we ever going to see footage? Are we ever going to see this, see that, whatever. You know, it's not hard, guys. It's a fucking Google search. It's really not hard. It's just not. It's right here. It's right on Google. Type in person's name and luggage. It's right here. Fucking Christ, these people pretend like there's some goddamn conspiracy to like suppress video of this person. We don't need it. There's a picture right there. There's victim's luggage right there. God damn, spend so much time. And again, notice. And the way you know that like their whole like theft like angle of this is all just bullshit smokescreen is that they only mention it at the very top of the segment and at the very bottom. But the entire middle section is just bitching and moaning about trans people or gay people or non-binary people, LGBT people in general, just existing within government apparatuses. That's what they're complaining about. That's what they're upset with. He's mostly getting attention because he's queer. That's why. Yeah. Media. Yeah. The attention Sam Brinton is getting is strictly because they're non-binary. That's it. That's literally it. And they wear dresses. That's all. That's what they focus on. They spent the entire segment on that. That's it. Like that's the only thing. You know the thing? You know the thing that they tell, you know, like at the end of all YouTube videos where they tell you to like click on one of these like things to watch more videos. Yeah, I've been meaning to film one of those. So that's what I was doing. I was just setting it up to film one.